It's a refreshing reward at the end of a long day. Vermont beer, special, served with a story, rooted in Vermont. Andrew Peterson came to Vermont with a desire to start a brewery.
Wanted to use local ingredients, so I started trying to figure out what that meant in Vermont, and there wasn't local ingredients.
He realized one main ingredient was missing.
Started playing around with malts in the kitchen, and eventually it turned into a larger project.
Since Vermont boasts the most breweries in the U.S. per capita, Peterson thought instead of trying to compete with them, why not just supply them?
Let them do the brewing and let me do the malting. The existing malting facility is in an old hay barn on my property. We've grown 3 times in there, and we're at a maximum production level there. It just can't get any bigger.
Hops plays a star role in the brewing process, but malt is the backbone of every beer. You can make a beer without hops, but not without malt. It starts with local farmers in the field.
Just started doing a little cash crop this year, and we've started with 50 acres of barley. We felt that this would be a more sustainable crop to grow in our area. We thought it would be kind of cool to be a part of all the local beer movement too.
The Jing family started milking cows in 1953. In 2015, the family sold the cows, but that didn't mean they stopped farming.
So we decided to try something different. So now we board heifers, we sell hay, we've got the grain crops now, and we also do some farm events too.
A farmer willing to try something new, just what Peterson was looking for.
We have farmers around the state, some of them organic, some of them are conventional, and we're slowly working with more and more farms to grow more and more acres so that we can serve a higher percentage of the breweries in Vermont.
Centuries ago, Vermont was covered in the fields of gold. New England was once the breadbasket of the U.S., and growing grains was a large part of Vermont's heritage, as shown by the shocks of wheat on the state flag and in the hands of Ceres, the goddess of agriculture perched atop the State House. But when the expansion started out west, grain production in Vermont rapidly declined. However, in the last decade,
we've started to see an increase in grain production as new local food markets have opened new opportunities for farmers to grow grain.
Heather Darby and the U of M Extension Crops and Soils team, they've been collaborating with the Northern Grain Growers Association to rebuild the grain industry.
It's exciting to be able to see a growing, emerging grain market here in northern Vermont. It does grow well. It's kind of outside the box, but 100 years ago, everyone grew their own grain, whether it was oats or wheat or barley.
Seth Johnson is known as the bean guy. He grows certified organic beans and other grains on his farm in Glover. His new piece of equipment, purchased in Illinois, can harvest all types of grains here in the Green Mountain State.
And we felt a little more comfortable about investing the money if we knew we'd have some custom work to keep it busy. So this is our first field we're trying it out on, so we're really excited to be working with Sean Zhang and his family on this project.
Once harvested, the barley seeds, they're off to Peterson's facility in Moncton to begin the malting process.
There's 3 steps. There's soaking, germinating, and kilning.
The goal is to come out with a seed that has a lot of sugar content and enzymes a brewer can use. As a maltster, sometimes you have to get creative.
Looking at our soak tanks, those are maple sap collection tanks. Everybody in the country who's doing this kind of finds what they can find locally and figures out how to repurpose it. I saw those on the side of the road and said, that's perfect.
Lots of variables make malts taste very different. The soil, the weather, the variety all come into play. Quality is key.
University of Vermont Extension has a cereal grain testing laboratory, and it's actually one of the only public testing labs on the East Coast. So it's utilized by farmers and researchers from all over the country. And we do offer grain analysis specific to barley for malting. And so if farmers are growing for the malt industry, then they're able to send in their grain and we can test it and evaluate it for its potential.
With more breweries looking for high-quality Vermont malt, Peterson's operation is in the process of expanding.
We've rented all this space. You're looking behind us at Nordic Farm in Charlotte. The brand new bin back there is going to be storing about 1,000 tons of barley. The barn back there is going to be the new malt house, so we'll be increasing our production size significantly.
From starting in an old hay barn to bringing an iconic dairy farm back to life, Peterson's mission has stayed the same.
We want to be able to support the Vermont agricultural system and help it move forward in the 21st century, supporting a local farmer. It's money that's staying in the economy. When you're driving down the road and you see these fields, we want you not just to be looking and saying, hey, that's a beautiful field, Vermont's a great place. We want you to look and say, oh, that's actually barley that's going to go into a beer or a whiskey.
It's farmers, producers, researchers, and brewers all working together to make every sip count.